Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of Quotables. Once again, like always, I am joined by my co-host, Ernest Ramirez. How are you doing, Ernie?
Hungry.
Oh,
That's what I was thinking about.
yeah. Today, if you haven't caught from what Ernie just said, we are doing the original 1971 Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Heads up, we do have spoilers, of course, but if you haven't seen this movie, you're 40 years too late. But
Yeah.
anyway.
I know, that's a good. I didn't even think of that. Yeah, you're freaking late.
You're really late. But this is probably one of my top favorite movies.
Yeah.
I've always loved this movie. It's so near and dear to my heart. And I try to watch it almost every year. And today, watching it again was just so sweet. How long has it been since you watched it, Ernie?
I watched this movie quite a bit, and I think I haven't watched this movie in like 2 years.
Yeah, that's not that long.
Yeah, like last year is when I was telling you I was watching Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, which is the Johnny Depp one. But yeah, dude, watching this one again is such a treat to enjoy. And all right, I want to tell you a little side thing about this. Okay, so this is actually very true. Every time, so the way I watched this movie was in school when I was a kid, and they always used to put it around October for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, me as a kid always made it that Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory was a horror movie to me as a kid.
It kind of is.
But it's kind of creepy, right?
It is a little creepy. It's really dark.
Yeah, it's dark. And so like now watching it again, I was like laughing at the good moments in it. And then you see like these dark times. I'm like, I got a little nervous. I got a little scared. I was like, it's coming back to me. But it was kind of scary. It was awesome, dude. Well, coming from a big fan, like, you know, I know you love this movie. You always quote this movie. Mm-hmm. What did you think just watching it again, you know?
Oh, I enjoyed it. And I think every time I rewatch it, I just discover more. I don't know what it is. Like, I feel like there's scenes I kind of like forget about that are so small. And like, oh shit, this is happening. And it makes that movie so much better. Like, we'll dive into it more, like some of those things. Like, you kind of catch. Like, especially, it's more of the scenes that are happening when they're looking for the tickets. You know, all that side stuff that's going on when people are looking in the craze. It's just crazy to look.
Yeah.
But I've always wanted to go to this factory because I have such a sweet tooth.
Yeah.
But
it's crazy watching it as an adult, you know, because when we're kids, like, you know, obviously our imagination is so big at that time seeing this, and you're like, damn, yeah, let's go get chocolate.
And it's crazy. It's so much different than newer one, which we'll do at some point too, because that one's not too bad, but this one obviously is classic because Gene Wilder's Willy Wonka, he's unmatched.
He's just unmatched, for
he's
sure.
Just a classic actor. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
So if you don't have anything else, we'll just hop right into this bad boy. So we start off with the crawl. No, I'm just kidding. No crawl this time.
I was going to say
Willy Wonka and the Emperor Strikes Back. I'm just kidding. You get the sweet little Wonka song. Just we're watching like I guess
chocolate.
The process of the chocolate being made, right? And I love chocolate. This is a long opening scene. Yeah. It took 2 minutes and 25 seconds just to get to the very opening of that school. And that's when you see all the kids rushing out, right, to the Candy Man, Bill's Candy.
Yeah, Bill's Candy.
And that's you get the little sweet Candyman song.
Candyman.
But it's funny because they're all like asking. Oh no, he's like, he's getting all the candy for the kids.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, 1 triple cream cup for Christopher, a squelchy snort of Otis, 1 sizzler for pretty June Marie, and listen, Wonka's got a new today, the scrum-diddly-umptious bar.
He's all scrum-diddly-um. What does he say? He doesn't say it right.
Scrum-diddly-um. Yeah, he's just all fucking weird.
Shit.
But then and someone asks, how does he do it?
I love this part.
Good.
You know, he's all, my dear boy, do you ask a fish how it swims or a bird how it flies? Because they were born to do it. So
he was a candy man, and that's when he takes the song. I love the beginning part of the song. He goes, who can take a sunrise, sprinkle it with dew, and he goes, cover it in chocolate and a miracle or two. But if you notice, he gets like weirdly close to one of the girls when he's singing.
Oh yeah,
like he like lays on. I don't know, it's weird, but
it's really weird.
It's kind of strange. But
I think now that we have like, as we've seen as adults, we see that. You know what's crazy is a random thing. You know that this movie was going to be called The Candyman?
Oh,
but
not
they
to get
changed
confused with the horror movie, right?
No. Well, no. they changed it because apparently Candyman is code for a drug dealer back in that time.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, so like, obviously he was, obviously he's not selling drugs.
Well, remember, that's my question about that strip of candy he gives all the kids. What the hell is that thing? Right. He'll take this. It's a couple pills and chocolates.
What was that shit?
I don't know. It's like a weird strip, and like they start picking at it. It's strange. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, I've never seen that either. It was like some sort of candy.
And he's just like throwing kids like candy, or kids throwing candy around like it's nothing, right? He's like, are these kids gonna pay for that shit? I don't think so. But he's just singing to them. Then he lets his kids behind his counter to his little sexy candy den. Yeah. They're all like hanging out. And he like stares at one of them like all weird.
It's so weird, yeah.
It's strange.
It's just weird. But he loves candy and kids, which is a little too much. You know what I mean?
He's like, come in, I got candy for you. Yeah. Nowadays, that's not a good sign.
Random, we'll get into this part. I just want to tell you this. At one point, like towards the end of the movie, remember you were saying about the charging the kids or whatever, when Charlie ends up finding money, remember, and he pays them, right? He gets one candy bar, but he only pays them once. And he goes, let me get one more chocolate bar. He gives him the chocolate bar, but he doesn't pay for it.
That's right.
It's just a random thing. And I'm like,
well, actually, I had a note too there, because like when he buys the first candy, he does like a little like money please, like the money. I'm like, this motherfucker, you're just throwing candy like it was nothing.
That's what I'm saying.
Go. But anyway, but yeah, you're right. That is, I didn't even notice the second part.
Yeah, that's a random thing.
Speaking of Charlie, after we cut to poor little Charlie looking in the window, he's all sad. Then he's going
shopping,
going on his route and getting paid his quarter. He's all, it's payday, sir. And he's like the worst newspaper kid. He's just throwing his shit. No quality in his service. Yeah. I doesn't even know where it's going. He just throws it. It's landing conveniently, you know. And then I think
that guy tells him, he's like, you're late. Like,
you're late. All right. And then we get to this, we get in front of the Wonka gates, and we get, I don't know what the hell this means, but he's a tinker.
He's a tinker, yeah.
A tinker.
And it looks like he has like meat cleavers. Like I thought I don't
remember him.
No, I don't.
Watching this.
But I remember, I thought that it was Slugworth is who I thought it was a while. But he has like freaking like meat cleavers or like, you know, I thought he was a meat guy.
Weird. Yeah, he's weird.
And then he's like, fucking, I was like.
Well, the shit he says, I don't know if you have that written down at all.
No,
he's like, up the airy mountain, down the rushing glen, we dare not to go hunting for fear of little men. You see, nobody ever goes in and nobody ever comes out. And he just fucking trips away like, what the fuck?
Just with that noise, like,
yeah, he fucking takes off. Like, what the hell was that?
And then like Charlie tells his grandpa later, and I was like,
I think he was a tinkerer. He's all, Charlie.
He's all like fucking Dr. Emmett Brown.
So now we cut to the family house, and you know, Grandpa Joe's complaining that Charlie works too hard for a young boy. And then the mom's like, you never even set foot on the floor. He's like, floor's too cold.
Yeah,
he's all fucking stupid.
I would if it wasn't too cold. Yeah.
And then Charlie comes in and greets all the old people and mom, and obviously Joe's the favorite because he's all excited about it. And he goes, I'm tired of cabbage water. and he's like, we can feast on this. Remember the bread?
Yeah.
Like, we can have a real banquet, Charlie. That's what the mom said.
The mom said, yeah.
And it's super sad to see that because, like, you know, people, actually live like that. But poor or not, I don't think people are gonna want to eat cabbage water, bro.
No, it just doesn't sound good at all.
It's fucking weird. Does that even give you any nutrients?
Yeah, it's sad because like this was, I actually wrote this down. Like, dude, Charlie, this kid. I mean, we'll get into it when we see Charlie as well. But like this kid, like you see that he's sad, happy, greedy at some points.
Yeah, he's all over the place.
And like you see that he's acting it out like he's a real kid. Mm-hmm. He acts like more of a real kid, and it's just sad. Like he's working it and shit.
I know.
And the mom is like raising like 4 freaking.
Because in the new one it shows the dad working, but then this one the dad's not present here.
The dad's dead.
But it's fucking sweet because like he gives the extra money to Grandpa Joe. No, he gives the money to mom, and then he goes to Joe and he goes, "From now on, I'm gonna pay for your tobacco." Oh, and this is supplying his Grandpa Joe's addiction.
Fucking Grandpa Joe, lazy son of a bitch.
Yeah, and that's.
Did they ever tell you what happened to him? Why they're there? I always forget.
Why? Who's there?
Why they're like stuck in bed?
Oh, I don't know. I think they just never moved, and they're just poor, and like there's nowhere to go. Like where are they gonna go? So they just sit there all day.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, then Charlie recalls the tinker to Grandpa Joe.
Yeah.
And then we learn that people are after Wonka's recipe, and then Grandpa Joe's like, especially Slugworth. Oh, that Slugworth's the worst.
Yeah.
And then they're wondering who can be working in that factory. He's just like, so thousands of them down or whatever. And now we're cut to Professor Teeth, aka Mr. Turkentine, in class. This dude's a dick. Like the professor, and he's Mr. Charlie, come over here. And he's like,
yeah.
Well, good.
No. He goes when he tells her. What does he say? He's all, I forget what the hell the chemical is that he's trying to do.
He's making a weird chemical, but he's like, do you know what this is? And he's like, no. He's like, of course you don't, because then that would make you the teacher, and that would be preposterous and rude. Like he's like, do I make myself clear?
I wrote that shit down. He's all, of course you don't know.
I know
because only I know. He's all, if you knew, I didn't know you would be teaching me. instead of teaching you and for a student to teach a teacher is presumptuous and rude or something
That's
like
right,
that.
some shit like that. I'm like,
Something
what
like
the
that.
preposterous? Yeah, it's like, what the fuck? And he's like, do I make myself clear? And his fucking teeth are all over the
All
place.
fucking big and shit.
Then he hears a disturbance outside, and that's when he checks out. And this kid runs in. He's like, "Oh, Wonka, they're letting people in the factory." He's like, "Class dismissed." And he's like, "It's only for 5 people." He's like, "Class undismissed."
Undismissed,
But then he learns, they're in the Wonka bar. He goes, "Class redismissed." And all the
takes
kids run out except for poor little Charlie. He's a little slow.
Mm.
And then he cuts back to the family, and he tells the family about the contest. And then Grandpa Joe, he's like, "You think I have a chance of finding one?" And then Joe's like, "One, I'm counting you to find all five."
Yeah.
Fucking sweet.
Yeah, that's just great. Dude, Grandpa, it's great because Grandpa Joe's the only one that's giving Charlie hope.
Yeah,
throughout the whole movie, like everyone kind of wants him to kind of stick to like
just accept
that
the
he
reality.
Can. Yeah, exactly.
But he's like, no.
This kid needs the hope. He needs some hope, man.
Which is cool. Grandpa Joe's sweet.
Yeah.
Then it shows the Wonka craze, and it's funny because it shows that dude in the therapy.
That's what
He's like, an archangel told me where the ticket was, and the therapist says, "And what did he say?" And he's like, "What does it matter? It was only a dream." He's like, "Shut up and tell me where the ticket is."
He tells her, he's like, "You gotta stop dreaming because these dreams are
like
something
shit like that. He's like, "Well, what did he say?" And it's fucking sweet. Like they're like little things like that.
Things like that.
They do that a lot.
That's what you were talking about. Like watching it again, like those little scenes is something you don't remember.
It just adds to it.
It just adds, yeah.
And then we get our first ticket is found in Germany from Augustus Gloop. And the guy goes, "How does that make you feel to find the first golden ticket?"
He's like, "Hungry."
Hungry. I feel sorry for one guy. It's going to cost him a fortune in fudge.
This is a random tip. I was telling you this, but I guess that kid is actually like, he doesn't speak English primarily or whatever. So like he actually was always having trouble talking to the other kids when he was filming, I believe.
Oh, I see.
Which is kind of,
makes sense.
neat, yeah.
But I mean, he's
What about his dad, dude?
Oh yeah, and then they go to ask Mr. Gloop a question. That fucker eats the mic. He's like,
you just hear him biting him.
And then fucking goes to the mom. He's like, "Eating is his hobby, you know."
Yeah. He's like, what is he? I forget what she said. She's like, "Eating is a hobby. I feed him like something.
Oh yeah, like give him something a day. And then Slugworth all of a sudden in his ear, like, does no one know he's there? He's just fucking right there, while they're all interviewing.
Yeah. Like, how does he always find these
he's
kids?
everywhere.
But this is the thing now that I kind of realized, I guess, not as a kid, but now it's like freaking Slugworth. I guess you know how he's working for Wonka.
Yeah,
I think he's the one kind of placing the ticket. He knows where the tickets are. That's why he's always there when you know what I mean?
Maybe.
But it's just kind of weird that he always finds out.
Or he takes a glass elevator. The Wonka Vader. No, but it's never been up and out.
But it goes to triangles.
Triangles.
Ways worse.
It goes to Germany. We cut to Charlie's B-Day, where he receives his sweater of love and a Wonka bar. And then Joe's like, "Open it, Charlie. I want to see that gold."
Yeah. Oh, no, it's a scarf. It's a red scarf.
Oh, yeah, the scarf. I'm sorry. Yeah, everyone stitched it, right? Everyone had a little piece of stitching it. And he's like, "You think I'll get it, Grandpa?" He's like, "You get it more because you want it more." And then the Charlie fucking little shit goes, "I got it. Fooled you, didn't I? You really thought I had it."
Oh, I hate that shit.
I'm like, you little dick. Like, everyone's trying to, they're trying to be fucking nice to you. And anyway.
Well, let's see it.
And then we're cut to Veruca. And then that's when we having his dad's whole factory open up a gang of bars. And then the fucking dad the whole time looks like he's going to have a heart attack. Oh, he's like always sweating, fucking stressing.
Nervous.
He's like, "I'm not a magician." He's like, "I want it now." And I'll make them work nights.
He's like, "I wanted to be the first to get the ticket."
And I wanted to get the first. You promised, Daddy. He's like, "We haven't cracked a nut in weeks."
Because they're peanuts or whatever.
Yeah, peanuts. That's we'll get to that scene later when he says that to Wonka. And
he's like, "They're not even trying. They're jealous of me."
They don't want me to find it. They're jealous of me.
Dude, what about Henrietta, bro? His wife.
Oh, his wife.
What did she say?
She's like, "You're gonna be very popular out here, Hank." Or I forgot what his name was.
I forget.
He's like, "It breaks me heart to see you unhappy." Yeah. She's like, "I won't talk to you. You're a rotten, mean father. You never give me anything I want." He's like, "Veruca, sweetheart, angel.
I'm not going to school."
I'm not going to school. Yeah. But like even before then, he like tells the workers, like, "Put a jerk in it, or you'll be out in your ears."
Yeah.
And he says he'll get him like a day off or something.
No, £1,000 to their
in
check
a raise,
or something.
right?
Yeah, the raise, yeah.
And then shout out to these actors though, because like it's a lot of screaming, like a lot of just like especially Veruca, like the girl who plays that. Like, dude, imagine like finding that. That's a good find because she does it really well.
Yeah, she does. Yeah, a lot of these actors, like the little kids, they have freaking acting chops, bro. They're good. You know what I mean?
Really
like
good. But then you don't really know what happens to them after that. Ticket is found. Sweet ass Slugworth again just runs up the fucking stares and starts talking to him.
Yeah.
And then Miss Saul goes, happiness and harmony with children is all that's important. Fucking sweet.
Dude, who the fuck is that? That's the mom, right?
Yeah,
that's gotta be.
That's his mom.
She's so like
She just doesn't give a fuck. She lets him handle everything, right?
Honestly, yeah.
And then we cut to the man with the robot saying that it's going to tell him the precise location. And then he presses the thing. He's all, I am now telling the computer where the 3 tickets are. It's all, I won't tell you. That would be cheating. And he's all, I am now telling you, the computer, that it's not cheating. And he's all, and then he's all, and we'll share the chocolate. And he's all, what would a computer do with a lifetime of chocolate?
Yeah.
He's all, I am now telling the computer what it can do with a lifetime of chocolate. And he's fucking sweating. He kind of looks like the professor's brother, a little bit on.
He's all, the greatest miracle of the machine age I want is, or whatever. That's what he says.
Yeah, some shit like that. And fucking sweet, like, but it doesn't even work. Well,
and
it works.
They're all just staring at him and no.
Like they're waiting, huh? And then we're cut to the 3rd ticket being found in Montana. So it says Mr. Beauregard is like a politician, right? But he's selling cars.
No, he says he's a car salesman is what he is. I think he's just a public figure is what they say he is.
Okay, that's what it is. Because
he I think he has commercials and all that shit.
He's all, come down. He's all, at Sam, it's always guaranteed.
Look at this car right here. So he's gonna say something, and then the daughter
like, come on, Dad, they don't want you. What's with all these kids and their voices?
Yeah,
like, if you notice, like Veruca, Mike, and well, Charlie
they're spoiled
too.
Brats. So
yeah, they just have those high pitched voices. It's fucking sweet.
There's just one scene that, oh my god, dude, I fucking was dying when Violet, like, she's chewing her gum and she's talking to the things, and then like the mom says something to Violet, and she goes, "Cool it, mother."
Just cool it, mother, because like she's talking about the chewing gum.
Yeah.
And then she's like, then I beat the record from Cornelia, and boy was she mad. He's like, hi Cornelia, how are you, sweetie? Fucking sweet. Then it cuts back to the mom making soup. Well, no, I'm sorry. She's actually cleaning the clothes, right?
Yeah,
it kind of looks like
she's yeah.
And then cute little Charlie comes. I thought I'd walk you home. And tells the mom that 3 tickets were found. She doesn't really care, but he's like, oh man, he's all, in case you're wondering, it won't be me. And in case you're wondering, you can count me out. I'm like, damn, fucking poor little guy.
Yeah, dude. I just, and then she sings this little sad song.
She sings that song
because I think her and Grandpa Joe do want him to.
Yeah, they want him to do it, but
they want him
to keep your head up, Charlie. Some shit like that.
I think she wants him to keep his
hopes.
His hopes up, but like not too high, so he doesn't break his heart, kind of thing.
Exactly, yeah.
But Grandpa Joe's like, no, reach for the stars.
I know. Well, I usually skip this scene, but this time I listened to it just for our listeners out there. I heard the whole song. But it's like, yeah, it's just the song is just about Charlie. Someday he'll have his day. Basically, she's saying like, poor little guy. And then we cut to Mike TV in his sweet little cowboy suit. He's watching a show.
Mike TV.
Yeah, Mike TV is fucking perfectly named. And then the mom seems all. Oh, now that I think about it, it's like. So we got gloop, because I guess that represents maybe fat. And then we got, I'm not sure, Beauregard. Not sure what that means. But then salt, obviously, because of the peanuts. Yeah. Bucket, because he lives in a freaking bucket. Anyway, sorry. So I said the mom seems all proud. The Mike TV's mom seems all proud. He's never been to the dinner table. And then it's funny because Slugworth keeps flipping the mic back and forth because he's right there, giving the interviews. And every time someone talks, he's all twists his arm. He's all, and then Mike pulls out the fake gun. He goes, "Wait till I get a real one. Core 45. Pop won't let me have one, huh, Bob?" He's all, "Not till you're 12, son." Yeah, he just smiles.
Fucking guy, dude. He's all so absent.
I know, it's fucking sweet.
Even it's funny. Like there's these little nuances of the characters themselves that really kind of explain who they are and how how they're raised. Because you see that the dad is so doesn't care really.
The mom too. The previous mom. They're kind of their own
offside.
Thing, right?
Yeah, they're the kids are kind of like.
And then the dad of Gloop's dad, he's not really doing shit either. He's just fucking eating the microphone.
Yeah.
Then we cut to that newscaster talking about how people will get jealous on who gets the last ticket, but he's trying to be low key about it. He's all, anyways, there's more important things, but at this moment, I just can't think of what they are right now.
But he's all, I bet those golden tickets make the chocolate taste terrible. When he finally opens it.
Oh, yeah, his birthday. That's because they cut to Joe and Charlie.
Yeah.
And that's when he says, and it's funny because Grandpa Joe pulls it out from under his ass. Was he just hiding it under there? He's all,
got a warm piece of chocolate for you, Charlie.
He's like, have a bite. He's like, got some candy, man.
Yeah. My favorite scene is next.
Charlie's like, Grandpa, that money was for tobacco.
Yeah.
And then
the ransom one.
No, this is before, because we cut to the auction of a chocolate box, and then they're getting to an all-time high, and then the guy goes, "Your Majesty." That's fucking hilarious. And that's when we cut to the detective talking to the lady husband who was kidnapped.
Yeah, but a random thing about the Her Majesty thing. You remember we just kind of finished the movie again, but do you remember he's the Majesty? I need to get back to her. Remember?
Oh yeah.
He wrote a letter, so that it kind of just
that's true. I didn't catch that.
Yeah. But yeah, no, go ahead. The ransom scene.
Yeah, the ransoms like the
they get like this actress that overplays it so well, where she's like, she's super like scared for her husband being kidnapped, or
Yeah, he was kidnapped, and then they call on like for a ransom, obviously, and they're like, and he goes, they want your box of Wonka bars, and she's like a little hesitant, and she's like, how long will they give me to think it over? And I just love how they show like this. This is the craze, and it's true because like when crazes like that happen, like people get fucking crazy, and like that's something that probably has happened. Like I couldn't even imagine, like like when Furbies or something came out. Remember that craze? Like shit like that. Like it's wild,
dude. Honestly, that was happening with the freaking toilet paper. Remember all that?
That's
craziness?
Right. Yeah, same with that.
Damn, this is crazy because when we're recording this, if this like someone listens to this like in 3 years or whatever, like shit, they're gonna know. Yeah, they were in the pandemic.
The history books.
Yeah.
Then we cut to the reporter saying that the last tick was found. A millionaire in Paraguay. And here's a picture. He just pulls out a picture. Like,
it's like some fat dude, like dictator looking dude.
And then we cut to Charlie's house, and like they're all talking about it, like the family, and then like they're trying to say like, oh, don't tell Charlie, get his hopes up. But Charlie's like, I'm literally like right there. He's in the rafters, bro. And he's just crying, but he's literally right there.
Yeah, they're like right next to him. Yeah, like, don't wake him up, and he's all crying.
He's in the other room, the roof. It's fucking sad. And then
we cut, these walls are thin, sir.
And then we cut back to Professor Teeth, and he's talking about like moving the exams. He's like, oh, but it's Tuesday. That doesn't matter. Like super random scene that he has. Then he starts talking about percentages, and he's like asking all the kids about the chocolate bars.
This is sad.
And he goes to Charlie. He's all 2. He's all, oh, that's easy. 200 goes in 1,000. He's like, no, not 200, just 2. He's like, 2? Well, I can't figure out just 2. That's fucking worst professor ever.
And I might be tripping, but throughout the whole movie, they keep like, showing that like Charlie's like poor and down on their luck, the family. But like he's always wearing the same clothes, right? Yeah, I didn't think of that until right now. I was like, damn, he's pretty poor. They're always keeping that in line with who he is as a character. It's fucking sad, dude. Sad. Honestly, dude. The beginning it was like set the mood, like it's all happy, like Annie Mink, and then it goes straight to the main character, and he's all depressing. It's all sad. But good.
Yeah. So then we cut to Charlie. He's walking on the street where he finds some money. Buys a chocolate bar for shits and gigs and starts grubbing hard on it. Remember, he makes it look like so good when he's eating. Yeah. He's all careful. You can get a tummy ache. And that's when we're talking about how, he's a little greedy bastard.
Yeah, a little greedy bastard. He's all puts his hand out like, come
on. And then he does a little smile when he gets the money. Charlie buys one more, like you said, doesn't buy it, and he just gives it to him. Try a regular Wonka ball this time. Goes outside, finds out everyone's talking about how it was a hoax at the ticket. And that's when Charlie opens the bar and he goes, when he opens the song. It's super exciting.
It's crazy. And then they find, like he gets the ticket and they see that he got the ticket and some lady like drags him into a crowd.
And he literally has the ticket just hanging high and then everyone's just like, and I'm surprised no one took it, like snatched it,
Yeah, dude, that shit's scary.
And then the old guys like, run for it, Charlie, run for it. Don't stop till you get there.
Was it the newspaper dude that tells him that? Yeah,
it's the newspaper.
Or something.
And that's when he Slugworth appears. And he's all,
congratulations, Charlie. You need to give me the secret ingredient.
His fucking voice is sweet.
The everlasting gobstopper. He's like, I need to know the recipe or I'll be ruined, or something like that. He's like, think it over, will ya? A new house for your family.
$10,000.
$10,000, yeah. Something. He's you'll be fine.
I know what his name is.
Tempting Charlie to the dark side.
I know what the newspaper guy is. Turkentine.
No, that's the professor.
Oh, is it?
That was the professor. I said it earlier. You just weren't listening.
Well, I wasn't.
Charlie gets home shouting that he found it, and then like they read the paper and read it, Joe, for heaven's sake. Joe's wife. I guess that's Joe's wife, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I think so.
I'm assuming they've been sleeping in bed together.
They don't even seem like. Well, they're all in the same damn bed.
They're all playing footsies all the time and shit.
Imagine the massive orgy that those people have.
Dude, I got the golden ticket for you.
He's like, I can't get up off this bed, but I could show you something else that gets up.
Ticket's legit. Charlie wants to take Joe, and he attempts to stand. Then he falls back all sweet.
Yeah, he's like,
and then and that's when I was like, you asked about why they're in the bed, and they never really explain it. But Joe, he's like, I haven't done this in 20 years. Like he hasn't stood up in 20 years.
Or something.
And then they're all looking at him all crazy when he's standing. So I said the guy with the glasses. He looks at him all sweet. He looks like super freaked out.
Like he can't believe it.
And they breaks in a song. because I got the golden ticket in my son. And
Here I go, watch my speed. And he's like,
I know, but he looks under. They look under the bed for his slippers, and is that like a little piss pan right there? Because like they show a little bucket.
I saw a little thing. I don't even know.
I think he's pissing in there. Yeah, he starts getting crazy with his cane, running around while stumbling, but all of a sudden, he's fucking running around.
Yeah.
And they got little sweet moves, like him and Charlie are both dancing nice, and then that's when the mom stops and like, conveniently, the day is already tomorrow. Lucky boys. Cut to the front of the Wonka gates. So that was like a good 40 minutes of the movie, right? 45 minutes of the movie, just getting to the Wonka gates.
They don't even, it's
it's fucking wild because like but after this, it's just awesome.
Yeah. It's just Gene Wilderness, you know what I mean?
And then we cut to the gates, and that's when they're showing all the kids. And for some reason, Mike goes, "Hi, John," or like, "Hi, John," "Hi, Joe," "Hi, Fish Face." Like, I don't know what the fuck Fish Face is. Again, Violet, the dad starts, "That's how I go when you come to Sam's. It's a guarantee," or some shit again. And he's like, Violet, she goes, "Cut it out, Dad. It's my show." And she says hi to Cornelia again. "Hey, Cornelia, sweetie, I'm still at the record order." Like, poor Cornelia. She's probably like, "This bitch."
I know. She's just talking shit the whole time. Mm-hmm.
Clock strikes 10 a.m. and perhaps one of the greatest scenes occurs when Wonka walks out. He appears to have a limp and not so thrilled. Then he loses his cane on the way out and does a sweet little flip and flips up, pulling everybody. And that scene is one of my favorites like ever. Like it's just perfect.
It just sets the mood for who that guy's gonna be.
And like what we talked about earlier, like that there was something in that, like when he was filming, he's like, I wants to do that, and the director asked like, why does he want to do this like that way? And he said, because then no one's ever gonna know when he's telling the truth. Yeah, you know what I mean. And that's exactly it. Happens.
It's true. Yeah, like it just sets the mood for that character.
He's all, "Welcome, my friends. Welcome to my chocolate factory. I hope you enjoy it. I think you will." All the kids introduce him. He's all, "Augustus, my dear boy, in such fine shape." He's all, "I'm Mike TV. Bam, you're dead." He's all sweet up. Yeah. Then lastly he talks to Joe and Charlie. He's all, "Delighted to meet you, sir. Overjoyed, enraptured, enchanted. Is that everyone? Yes. Good. In we go." And then everyone fucking leaves. They go in. They get inside. He's all right, everyone hang your hats, coats, goulashes. Those hangers are weird with those fucking hands
the little
off.
thing, yeah.
Those are a trip. Those are always kind of true. Like, I don't know if he's had, like, people are just standing there all day or this fool just killed somebody. But he's always done some weird shit.
He's always done some weird
shit.
And
he's all, "We have so much time and so little to see. Wait a minute. Strike that. Reverse it. Thank you." Oh, did he? Oh, God. So
he has some fucking lines, honestly.
Oh, yeah. I didn't be in for Halloween because I was the Johnny Depp version for Halloween, actually.
What?
I had the bowl haircut, I had the sweet jacket, I had the glasses.
That's
all
so
sweet.
random,
but I got to be this one. And you can be my little loomps.
Yeah, I'm
down. Wonka reveals the contract that shows the words getting smaller and smaller. And you hear Mr. Gloop, he's reading it. He's all, like, he's just mumbling. You don't know what the fuck he's saying. And then, Mr. Saul, Mr. Beauregard is saying, don't sign. And he's all, "Then she don't go in. Rules of the house." And then Farouk gets pissed. She's like,
"Give me that pen. You're always making things difficult."
Yeah. And then Mr. Beauregard asks what the small writing is, and Wonka says, "Oh, if you have any problems, dial information. Thank you for calling."
Fucking Wonka. And then the best thing about this thing, it's like, I don't think we're going to be able to deliver the lines the way he does, but we're going to do our best. We'll try
our best. And
but the way he just says shit and the way it gets set up for him.
And well, so this is like, and I compared this like when we're doing Beetlejuice. Like,
yeah.
Obviously, you said like in the beginning, Wonka is in this movie obviously a lot more than Beetlejuice was.
Definitely.
But writing Beetlejuice's lines is so hard because the way he just says everything is so good. And that's what I felt about this movie. Like,
definitely.
I try to get almost everything, but it's so hard because it's just so good. Charlie signs. "Sign away, Charlie. We have nothing to lose," a Joe. Yeah. And then again, fucking Wonka. "Everyone signed? Yes. Good. On we go."
On we go.
And he does like a little sweet little spin. And they go into that weird room. It kind of looks like an illusion. Everyone starts tripping. And then Wonka just like suddenly says, "Is it my soul that calls me by name?" And then Miss TV's like, "Somebody's touching me." And Grandpa Joe's like, "Oh." I think Grandpa Joe's trying to get a little action. He's been in that bed for so long. He's like, someone's always grabbing him.
He needs that connection again.
And then he finally opens it, and everyone's like, "What the hell, Wonka?" And he's all, "Question time will come at the end of the session. We must press on." Oh, but then they go through the same. Oh, I'm sorry, that was before that. But then they open the same door they came through. He's like, "That's the way it came in." And he's like, "It is. Are you sure?" And then he's like, "What is this, Wonka? Some kind of fun house?"
Having fun.
Why? Having fun?
Oh, yeah.
I love that. That's a thing I like to quote too right there.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, you can't get out backwards. You got to go forward to go back. Better press on." And then Charlie, he's like, hey, the room's getting smaller. And he's like, no, he's getting bigger. And then Mr. Salt, he's at it again. And then Maya's like, where's the chocolate? He's like, I doubt if there is any. He's like, I doubt if anybody's going to get out of here alive. And then Wonka's like, you should never doubt what you aren't sure about. Fucking sweet, huh?
Like, I feel like the whole time that he's doing all this, like, trickery and shit is to get these people, like, so disillusioned, like, with everything that they're going to forget what they're there for, you know, kind of thing.
It's kind of just like when people talk about, like, there's so much crazy shit going on, like, when they tell people after, no one's gonna believe them. Like, no, that's bullshit.
Exactly. Yeah,
that didn't happen. Like, he doesn't want. He's creating an illusion.
Yeah, he's creating an illusion. Like exactly. Yeah.
And then Miss Gloop, you're not squeezing me through that door. But he's like,
fucking Augustus Gloop's mom, like junky ass lady too.
And then before the room, he's like, all my dreams. He's on this room. All of my dreams become realities, and some of my realities become dreams, and everything is eatable. No, edible, eatable. I mean, you can eat everything. And then Augustus is like, let me in, I'm starving.
That's how I want to be, dude. You'll be freaking Wonka. I want to be Augustus Gloop.
Oh, yeah. He opens that sweet little piano riff to open the door.
Yeah.
And then we get the first look at the chocolate room. I wish I was there, dude. That's a sweet little room.
Dude, honestly, the freaking chocolate fountain and all that grossed me out.
Oh, yeah, that shit kind of looks nasty. Because even Mr. Salt's like, is that sewage or something like that?
Yeah. And it doesn't even look, because, you know, like, obviously, like, at this time, they probably didn't have, like, fucking crazy amount of money. But, like, the chocolate, like, it looks like water.
Yeah, just water with, like, fucking cocoa
powder. It doesn't look like thick, nice chocolate, you know?
That's fucking sweet. Because then the newer one, it looks fucking
It looks nicer, yeah.
But it's sweet what Wonka says. He's like, make a wish. Hold your breath. Count to 3.
Yeah.
He's like, come with me. And then that's a sweet song right
dude,
there.
Honestly.
Pure imagination. And it's funny though, like he's not really letting anyone go. Remember, he just keeps like flicking his cane and he keeps like walking. He keeps walking up and down the steps. Ding, ding, ding. Ding, ding, ding. But then he finally lets him go. But then even at one point he's singing and he pets Mike's hair. And he pulls out a little hair. He's like, ding.
Yeah, he pulls it out.
That's fucking sweet. But then he lets everyone run down. And everyone's, getting down on candy. That's talking about being unsanitary. Because later when Gloop falls into the river, he's like, oh, you're unsanitary in my waters and shit, But like everyone else is just touching everything, right?
Yeah. Because then remember, strange. Like the kids are like drinking the chocolate water, remember?
Yeah, they just do everything. They're touching everything and just eating, but like it's just sweet. And he's like kicks a little ball. He's like, ding.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is, but I love when he sips that little cup and he eats it.
Oh, yeah.
It's weird, but I don't know what it is, but it makes it look so sweet. Fun fact, though. That was actually just wax. And
really?
like he like had to spit it out after the take.
Oh, that's so gross.
That's fucking sweet.
I didn't know that. I thought it would have been real chocolate.
Like actually,
because you know how people
eatable.
make that shit now.
That's
like,
true.
But they probably didn't have that at the time.
No.
Damn, that looks so good too. I was about to say that.
He just takes a sip and he's like singing. He just
and you could hear the noise, and I'm like, damn, that's probably white chocolate. And
and then that's when he stops the song. And he starts talking about the river. He's like, you know what? No other factory mixes its chocolate by waterfall. And he gets all into Mr. Salt's ear, and he goes, but it's the only way if you want it just right.
Yeah.
And I love it. He does that a lot with Mr. Salt. He's always just like, oh, like.
Yeah, like later on down the line, he does it too.
That's fucking sweet. And then Charlie notices the Oompa Loompas. We get our first. He's from Loopaland. He's all, it's a terrible country. He's all, Wang Doodle will eat 10 of them for breakfast and think nothing of it. And he's all, so I told him to come live with me in safety, away from all the Wang Doodles and Hornswogglers and Swazwangers and Vermicious Needs. Snowswangers. Vermicious Needs? What kind of rubbish is that? And he's all, I'm sorry, but all questions must be submitted in writing. Oh god!
You know what? Maybe he whispers only to that guy to Salt because he owns a business.
Maybe that might be it. Because even later he asks about like the alcohol thing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Veruca demands for an Oompa Loompa, and Mr. Salt swears he's gonna get one. Like,
he's a homeless one.
Yeah, does he not think that it's kind of weird? He's gonna have fucking one of these guys at their house doing some weird shit. Like I don't know. He's like, I want an Oompa Loompa now, and Violet's all, can it, you nit?
Oh yeah.
And then we see Augustus eating from the river, and Wonka's tripping that he's contaminated the river. Augustus falls in. It kind of looks like Wonka pushes him, right?
Yeah.
But like he runs up to him, but he doesn't. Like if you kind of look closely, like but he gets close
falls.
enough, like where it seems like it, but it's kind of his plan, maybe. And this goes, do something. He's like, help, police, murder. He's like, you can't swim. He's like, no better time to learn. He's such an asshole. He's such a dick.
And the thing sucks him up, remember?
Yeah, he's fucking done. He's like, he's stuck in the mustache also. He's stuck in the pipe there, all Wonka. Yeah. He says Wonker. And then, everyone's wondering what's going on. Wonka's like, the suspense is terrible. I hope it'll last. Oh, Jesus.
Fucking Wonka, dude. I like when you tell these. There's a certain time when we're doing the podcast when you're retelling, and obviously I've seen the movie, but I'm just listening to you, and I'm thinking everything, and I just kind of stay stuck on that.
I try to do it in like the way they say it and like the way they kind of pace it.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
To what I remember. This one I can do a little better with Wonka because like I love this movie so much. You love that movie,
yeah. Yeah, because I'm all into it too. I'm just watching.
And then Augustus, I can't even see your ass.
Yeah.
And then Augustus, he shoots up all fast, and then fucking Miss Coop, you will be made into marshmallows in seconds. And he's like, impossible, dear lady, absurd, unthinkable. He's like, why? Because that pipe doesn't go to the marshmallow room; it goes to the fudge room. Oh, dude, I love that too, right there.
That's just so good. Because like these fuckers are like dying. It looks like
he just like does not give a fuck. He doesn't give a fuck. Yeah. And then he summons the Oompa Loompa with the sweet little pipe. And then he's all, take him before he gets boiled. And Miss Coop's all, she boils him up. I know it. He's all, adieu, auf Wiedersehen, Gesundheit. And then we get the first Loompa song. You know, the Loompas, their songs are funny. Like they're weird, right?
Yeah.
I kind of wrote like the lyric from this. It says like, what do you get when you guzzle down sweets, eating as much as an elephant eats? What are you at, getting terribly fat? What do you think will come of that? And he's like, I don't like the look of it. And it's funny, that last shot of that song, and he turns around the door, he goes, doom-ba-dee-doo. Yeah. Just shuts. That's fucking sweet.
The shits used to creep me the fuck out.
Still, they are creepy.
Still creep me out.
They ask what's going on, then he starts speaking in another language, and then just to troll him some more, and then he introduces the boat. He's all I asked was for a tall ship and a star to sail by.
Oh, yeah.
Says that sweet little Irish voice. Passengers begin to board, and he goes, ladies first. And then fucking Joe, he goes, if she's a lady, I'm a vermicious nit. Throwback to what he said earlier about the vermicious nits. I don't even know what the hell that is.
I don't know either.
Obviously, I don't know what a snozzwanger is either.
But do you know what a snozzberry is?
Schnozberries. Obviously, everyone has a right to be skeptical about getting on this boat. And then Wonka's like, I take very good care of my guests. And then fucking Mr. Violet, he's all, you took real good care of that August kid over there. Fucking sweet.
That's right.
Veruca, of course, wants a boat. And then fucking, what's his name? Joe, Grandpa Joe's like, what she wants is a good kick in the pants. I don't know what the fuck that means. And then
kick to the ass.
And they're talking about, I forgot how it comes up, but they're talking about spitting, right? And he's like, spitting, and then Violet's like picking her nose. She's like, spitting is a dirty habit. He's like, I know a worse one.
Yeah.
And then for some reason, Mr. Beauregard asks Mr. Salt, he's like, what's business you in Salt? He's like, newts. Super random. Yeah. I love the little fat Oompa Loompa rattling the boat. He's all
a little
like, I feel
bad
bad for that guy. And then
needs to work out.
Things take a turn. This part is really creepy. This whole boat sequence is fucking scary, right?
Yeah, it's so weird.
All the weird shit on the screens, and like it's just so dark and devious from Wonka.
What he says, dude.
And then creepy pictures in the back, and weird shit's just going on. And then Mr. Salt's like tries to. It's funny because like he starts singing. It's funny. Mr. Salt kind of sings along with him. He's all rowing, like all nervous. Yeah. He's all rowing. He's nervous. And then he stops, and I have this whole little sequence written down. He goes, "Not a speck of light is showing, so the danger must be growing. All the fires of hell are glowing. Is the grisly reaper mowing? Yes, the danger must be growing, for the rowers keep on rowing." And they're certainly not showing any signs that they are slowing. And he's like, and then they stop, and he's, we're there. And he's like, where?
He's all, stop it. He's all, tell him to stop, Daddy.
He's all, stop the boat.
Wonka. He's all, stop. He's all,
quite right.
We're here.
He's all, we're here. And she's all, where? He's all, here. A small step for mankind, but a giant step for us. And the Veruca's just like, Daddy, I do not want a boat like this. There's a song. A hip hop song from Tribe Called Quest, their newer album, that they have that whole little scene, that sequence in their end of their song.
Yeah.
And then it stops with that thing. He's a small kind of step of mankind, but a giant step for us. Fucking sweet. Anyway, Wonka's in their little secret inventing room. He's all, old Slugworth would give his false teeth to get in here. And then he's making that fucking drink, and then she's like, that's 105%. And then he takes a sip. He's all, they're all any good? And he's all, yes. His little high pitched voice from that shit. You have something to say? Looks like you have something to say.
No, you're good.
Oh, okay.
I was waiting for the music maker part.
Oh, fucking all the ingredients he's throwing into the fucking weird little thing, right?
Yeah.
And he goes, he grabs the clock, goes up to Veruca. Time is a precious thing. Never waste it. Throws it in the stew. And then he hops on a little bike. Birds sing, hey ding, a ding a ding, ding a ding a ding. He's like, sweet love, love sing the spring. Like, it's so weird.
Love sing, ding a ding.
He's on that little fucking exercise bike,
Yeah.
whatever. It's fucking classic.
Like,
Then-
who fucking made this for this guy? Like, I feel
I feel like some of the shit obviously improvised. Like, it has to
'cause
be,
I
right?
think Gene
'Cause
Wilder just fucking nailed it.
he just
bro.
went
Like,
with it. He just fucking.
just went with
that
it
must,
so
that
well.
must have been a fun role.
Yeah, right.
Mike shoots back from that exploding candy, all weird. He's all, that's exploding candy for your enemies, and fucking Mike blows that shit out. He's like, that's some good shit. I mean, I didn't say that, but he's like, I told you not to, silly boy. And then fucking, this part's hilarious, dude. The Wonka proceeds to the stew where he takes a taste and he throws shoes in it. And then Mr. Salsa, what's that for? He's like, gives it a little kick. And like at this point, like what are these guys what are these people thinking of this guy? Like, what the fuck? Is he fucking with us or is he real? Like, is he being real with us? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
is this really what's going into our candy and our ingredients? Like the shit. That's what Mr. Saul, he's curious about the alcohol, right? He's all whiskey, brandy, and he goes, candy is dandy, but liquor is quicker. And that's again, he's like whispers in his ear, right?
Yeah, he whispers in his ear. That's what it.
And then he sticks his hand into the stew and he screams, he's like, ah! And then fucking Mike TV is like, what's the matter? Too hot, Mr. Wonka? He's like, no, too cold. Far too cold.
Yeah.
That's another quote I like to reference a lot.
Yeah.
It's just classic.
That's
classic
funny because
shit.
I referenced that, but I've always think of two movies, which is Back to the Future and that one.
Oh.
And when he grabs it, he's like, "What is it? How does it?" And he's all, "Too cold,
Oh, yeah, too cold, Marty. Oh. He introduces his most secret machine in the factory that makes the everlasting gulp stoppers.
Stopper.
And then they ask him,
fucking crazy ass candy.
crazy ass machine, and then it looks weird, huh? It looks like an atom or something like that.
Exactly like an atom. Thank
And then,
you.
fucking
Some sort of
someone asks him what it
nucleus.
does, and he's like, "Would you like to see?" And hence a meme is born. You know
Yeah.
the meme when he has his
The meme
little
when
his
it's
hand.
like, yeah.
That meme, I always see that shit. He's like, "You can suck them forever, and they never get smaller. At least I think they do." And then Mike's like, "How do you make them?" He's like, "I'm a triple deaf in one ear. Speak a little louder next time." And then he gives all the children a piece after it fucking takes forever just to make that little candy. And then obviously he doesn't want Slugworth. He makes a promise to not tell Slugworth, all the kids. That's where you see Veruca cross her fingers.
That's such
this
a
little-
random little thing that she does, huh?
Yeah, this little girl can have everything and has everything, but she still wants more, right? That's her
of
whole
course,
thing.
Yeah. 'Cause she's not really happy. Nothing's making her happy.
She's like, hey, she got two. I want another one. He's like, Kenny, you nitwit. And he's like, everyone gets one, and one is enough for anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then we go to the next machine with the 3-course meal, and he makes a thing.
Oh, I love this little fucking Violet.
He goes, Mike goes, that's all. And then he goes, that's all. Don't you know what this is? And then Violet's like, by God, it's gum. He's like, wrong. And he tells him what it is, makes a 3-course meal. And then Mr. Saul's like, boo. And he goes, no, roast beef, but it's not quite right yet. Oh, shit. Oh,
Yeah,
man. Violet takes the gum, eats it. She makes it sound so good when she's eating it, right? She's like, baked potato.
Yeah.
It's on sour creams.
He's like,
You know,
what's
like-
next, honey? What's next? And then he goes, blueberry pie. Or what's the pie? I forget. Is it blueberry?
I think it's blueberry pie. Yeah.
blueberry, yeah.
And then Vonka's like, stop, don't. He's always fucking doing that shit.
No, stop.
And then Charlie's like, why doesn't she listen to Mr. Wonka? And he's like, because Charlie, she's a nitwit.
Dude, fucking grandma just talking shit. In
He's
the
always
back.
talking
Yeah,
shit. He's a dick
shit.
too. Violet turns violet, starts to blow up.
Yeah.
And then
Violet.
And then fucking Wonka's like looking at himself. He's like a balloon. They all become blueberries. He looks all puzzled.
Yeah.
And then fucking Mr. Beauregard's like in his face. He's like, I'll break you for this. And then Wonka's just like, oh, well, I'll get it right. And that's when the Oompa Loompa song again happens. Summon to take Violet to the juicer. I love how they're just like rolling her around.
Yeah,
and
they're
shit
rolling
right
her
now.
around. Yeah.
Oh,
That's what they're singing still.
That's fucking sweet.
Shit's dark.
And then it's super dark. And then at the end, fucking Wonka goes, "Where's fancy bread? In the heart or in the head? Shall we roll on?" After they get rid of Violet,
Okay,
he's like,
yeah.
"I got a blueberry for a daughter."
Oh, God.
And he goes, well, 2 naughty little children gone, 3 sweet little children left. And then we cut to the flavored wallpaper. You notice how Grandpa Joe is licking it?
Yeah, it's so. Oh, dude.
And fucking like, and I've seen it on social media before. They're
Those-
like, Grandpa
those
Joe's a
memes.
freak. Like
Dude,
he's
Grandpa
fucking.
Joe's a freak. He's all-
his tongue's like.
Yeah.
He's all, and then Wonka. He's like, try some more. The strawberries taste like strawberries. The snozzberries taste like snozzberries. And
Snozzberries.
he's like, whoever heard of a snozzberry? And he grabs like her cheeks,
Yeah.
and he says,
No, go.
I thought you were gonna do it. He goes, We are the music
Oh,
makers.
my bad, my bad.
That's what you wanted to do, fucker.
I'm sorry.
I gotta give Ernie a chance to do a quote here, you know?
You're good. I got you, dude. We are the music makers, and we are the dreamers. Dream, right?
That's a sweet line, dude. That's a sweet
I was
line.
gonna tell you because you said about the other song.
That's what you said.
You know, Living Legends, right? They're like an underground rap group.
Oh, something about Chocolate
They have a song.
Oh, they have it too.
They have that in the beginning of the song.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
I love hearing that shit. I'm like, that's a great fucking
We are
line.
the music makers. Yeah, dude, he's fucking sweet. Then we cut to the bubble room. He's like, bubbles everywhere, but not a drop to drink. It's kind of a weird drink, right? Like, would you want something like that?
I mean, I drink La Croix, so fucking.
Well, I'm saying like to float because that's the point of it,
float.
right?
No, fuck no, I'm scared of heights.
Isn't that the point of it? Like, he wants people to float a little bit, obviously not as high as they go.
As high as they go, yeah.
But I wouldn't want that shit. Like, oh, let's have a drink so we can float around and shit. I don't know. I'd be kind of scared. Joe and Charlie, obviously, they go against Wonka's wishes and they start to flow. And Charlie's like, wee! All sweet.
And then he grabs onto fucking Grandpa Joe or his leg, and he's like,
he's like, we're really high now. Or no, Joe says that. He's like, we're really high now.
Yeah.
He's on that good shit.
Yeah, then
maybe he was having what Mike was having earlier.
Exactly.
Huh?
Mike TV. No, you're good.
What you say?
No, I was gonna say when he's going up, and then fucking Grandpa Joe goes, "We gotta stop," or something. Or no, I mean, freaking Charlie. Charlie's like,
get the voices
we gotta stop.
He's all, we're getting. There's nothing to grab onto. It's a dark scene. Like, imagine like if they didn't figure it out, like they would have been fucking chopped up in that shit. There's nothing to grab onto. And then they burp, and then obviously it starts lowering, and then he tells Charlie to do it. And Charlie,
I can't help.
And then the way he starts burping though, and he's like, and he's like flapping his leg, and he keeps looking up. That's fucking sweet.
He's like trying to like swim down. Basically, it looks
fucking sweet. Then they meet up back with Wonka, and then I guess no one noticed they were gone. Right? They're just fucking like back there. They
show up while they're in the goose with the goose.
Yeah, they're in the gooses. Weird ass goose, golden chocolate eggs, and Mike TV's like, but Easter's over. He's like, they don't know that.
He's like, they're working. What does he say? He goes, they're laying overtime this year.
He's like, I want to get them ready for next year. He's like, it's my egg decatur. And then
it gives a good egg, bad egg, and shit. Yeah.
You get it right, and then he's like, of course, Veruca wants a goose, but Wonka refuses.
Mm-hmm.
And then Veruca's like, who's saying that I can't have it? And then like, and it's just all the man with the funny hat.
The man with the funny hat. Yeah.
It's funny because the dad's like obviously giving into everything she wants and like tries to do everything he can.
Yeah.
And that's when Veruca starts to sing. And I want today, I want tomorrow. Yeah. She's like, I don't want to share them. Yeah, that little song is sweet though. Like, she's like,
sweet.
10,000 tons of ice cream. She's like, and if I can't have the things that I'm after, I'm going to scream. She starts running around like she throws that ribbon and just goes over Wonka, but he's just standing there like just super chill, right?
And then the freaking the what's it called? The Oompa Loompas are trying to like grab her, and then she has like a cart, and she fucking throws it at them, but it hits them,
and they all fall over. They're like flailing their little arms. But and that's when Veruca's dropped down the chute when she gets on the top. She's like, I want it now. He's all, she was a bad egg. And then Mr.'s all, where does she go? He's all, to the furnace. He's all, to the furnace.
No, he goes to the trash chute. He's all, the trash chute.
He's all, what does that lead to?
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, yeah.
To the furnace. He's all, Veruca.
And he chases after her.
He's all, bad egg, too.
He's all, and then fucking Charlie's like, they're not really going to be burnt, are they, Mr. Wonka? He's all, well, the furnace is lit every other day, so they have a good sporting chance. And then another Unbelievable song, and it's weird, like we were talking about this, how they shows the lyrics on the screen, all weird, huh?
Yeah.
He does that a lot, like with almost every song except for Violet's and I think Mike's, right?
Yeah.
So now we're cut to the Wonka Mobile. He's all, places please, the dance is about to begin. And then it kind of like goes a little sidebar, which I totally forgot about this part. Mike and his mom are talking about like Slugworth, right?
Yeah,
He's like, Mom, how much you think Slugworth will pay for this? Like, well, fuck. She's like, you better shut your mouth, right?
Yeah, shut your mouth.
And then we get the.
And then he's like, they're like pouring the that fizzy bubbler, the soda into the little car or whatever the hell that is.
And then they start going. Then Wonka starts singing. He's like singing in a different language. Or no, he's just singing like random shit.
Yeah, I can't even fucking understand.
It's a weird
not
scene.
Audible.
Yeah, and he like passes by and like everyone's clean all of a sudden after they're all super soapy.
Yeah, super soapy. Yeah.
What was that? He's like, he goes, Hisa Akanawa. And she's like, what? He's like, Wonka wash, spelled backwards. So great. Oh shit. God. And then she's like, why don't he's like, that was a short walk. He's like, He's like, why didn't we just walk? He's like, if the good Lord intended us to walk, he wouldn't have made roller skates. Oh god.
And then that's when they
so
suit up. They get like a little hazmat kind of looking suit.
They suit up to the television room.
Yeah,
Mike
Wonka
TV's
vision.
room for Wonka Vision. And then they send the chocolate through the air so people can have it on the TV. It's going to revolutionize the world. Imagine that shit being like real. Like
that'd be kind of fucking cool.
Hey, you guys want to try some candy? Like here it is. Grab it. Like fuck, dude, just wait for that commercial to come on every day. Record the commercial. And TiVo that shit. Get that all day.
Yeah, dude. Freaking when I was a kid, I remember thinking like, God damn, imagine like there was like a Snickers and you could just grab it and eat it and shit.
That shit. That'd be sweet.
You'd be all fucking obese and shit, all fat.
I already am. I'm just gonna.
I like to eat. How do you feel? Hungry?
Hungry. He's like, let me in. I'm starving. Mike asks if he can do people. And he's like, yeah, I could. Pretty sure I could. Can I?
He's like,
Mike runs to do it anyway. And he goes, stop, don't, come back.
He has his own little inner dialogue to himself.
Like in his head, but like he's saying it out loud.
Yeah.
And that's when Mike gets transferred. He's all, am I coming in clear, Mom? I said, am I coming in clear? And, he's all excited. I'm the first person to be through transfer to television. And then that's when they put him into the purse. And then like she summons the Oompa Loompa to take her to the take him to the stretcher. he's like, no, I won't hold you responsible. To the Oompa Loompa.
No.
And then he starts swinging the purse around with Mike.
With the kid inside.
That's fucking sweet. The mom's like,
yeah, because the mom put prior to that she puts him in the purse, and that's when he starts
swinging
it.
Such a dick.
Yeah, this is the last big fucking kid getting fucking murdered or whatever. But like, dude, going back to it, like he like set trials for all these kids to fail. You know what I mean? Augustus the chocolate, freaking Veruca the freaking bag or whatever. And
it's kind of like the 7 deadly sins, bro.
Yeah,
something like that.
No, but yeah, like it's crazy, dude. Like they all had something that
Violet the gum. Obviously, she's intrigued.
Yeah.
Mike, obviously the TV.
Fucking TV, yeah.
And then Charlie, he's a little tricky, but they, get free shit.
The Charlie one is a weird one. I didn't understand that one because he just drinks.
Well, that's more
soda.
of Joe. Like,
yeah, it's his grandpa who fucking screws him over, dude. Honestly,
yeah, he's all, "Not one drink will hurt us." But anyway,
well, I mean,
we get the final Oompa Loompa song. They get that sweet little coordinated dancing, and I love the part he goes, like, you'll get no commercials, Oompa Loompa, and they start like doing the little cans.
Yeah.
Fucking sweet. And that's the last Oompa Loompa song we get.
That's the last we heard of him.
That's the last song you get, Wonka. Hey, Wonka.
Stop, don't come back.
And then that's when stop, no, come back. And then they go, it's like, oh, so much to do. Or he's just like, oh, a whole day wasted. He dismisses Joe and Charlie, and they're like, they're all confused.
Yeah.
And then, Charlie's like, what's going to happen to the other kids? He's like, they'll go back to their terrible lives. Maybe they'll be a little wiser. They enter Wonka's office. I never understood this. Like, everything's just in half.
In half, yeah. Like, what the hell is that?
Obviously, like, Wonka's crazy, but like, what the fuck is weird?
I did think of this, and I wanted to tell you this during this podcast. So, I thought the same thing. Like, why is it half? And is it because Charlie is going to fill the other half of him? Does that make sense?
He's in like other half of Wonka.
Like the other half of Wonka.
He's gone from the silly side to like the dark side, right?
No. I meant so throughout the movie, obviously, Willy Wonka is trying to find a replacement for himself, right? Mm-hmm. And so he thinks that one of the kids is going to be the other half of him. That's what I thought. That's what that meant, but I never I don't know.
I can see that because he's trying to find someone who
replaces.
Because like he even says that at the end he's like, I can't have an adult running the place. They're going to run their way. He's all, I need a kid that's going to think like me.
Yeah, exactly.
So like his better half, maybe he has better ideas. Maybe I don't know, some shit like that. He's in bringing the candy man. Wonka informs them they lost because they broke the rules. He's like, you stole fizzy leafy drinks, and he's like reading the contract. He's like, you see here in section B, etc., 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 etc.
The fucking contract's in half. When he goes into the safe,
magnifying glass.
Yeah, and he goes into the safe, and it's like half open.
That'd be kind of fun, like setting that up as far as props go.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like,
I bet they had a great.
Just cut everything in half. Like just make everything, but just cut it in half.
Dude, I can imagine people when they were filming this fucking thing, just seeing Gene Wilder and all the funny shit that they went through. Like I would have been dying.
I've been great. He informs us, so you get nothing, you lose. Good day, sir. This is another like quote that a lot of people I hear like. And then fucking Joe's like, you're a crook, you're a cheat, you're a swindler. How can you make a little boy break his arm like that? He's like, I said good day. And then, as they're walking out, Joe's like, oh, he's all Slugworth wants a gobstopper, we'll give him one. But, Charlie with his little heart, gives it back to him. That was his test. I think he's going to leave, without redeeming himself, I guess, in a way.
Yeah.
Puts it back and he says he passes the test. Slugworth comes out. He's been working for them the whole time.
Yeah, that's when he says, what? Because he gives him back the gobstopper, and then Wonka says to Charlie, "So shines a good deed in a weary world." Remember?
That's right. Yeah, that's a sweet line.
That is sweet.
And then he gets all excited and he's just like, "We have so much time and so little to do." Stop that. Reverse it. And then they go into the Wonka Vader.
Yeah. Which it goes like,
he's all faster. If we don't get enough speed, we won't make it out. Because he tells Charlie to press the button he's never touched before, which is up and out. Breaks through the glass successfully. And they fly over the town. That's when Wonka tells Charlie. He's telling Charlie, "Oh, did you like the factory?" And he's, "Oh, I think it's the best place in the world." And he's, "Oh, I'm going to give it to you." He's, "I can't go on forever, and I don't really want to try." That's fucking sweet. And then that whole sequence. He's telling him the family can come in, and then he says the final words. He says. He's like, "Don't forget what happened to the man who suddenly got everything he ever wanted." And he's like, "What?" He's like, "He lived happily ever after."
Yeah.
And they give a hug, and then final shot of the Wonka Vader flying away, and that's when the credits roll. So
that's
sweet.
A good movie, dude.
Sweet ass movie.
Honestly, watching it again, I got pretty fucking happy watching it. I was like,
out of how many gobstoppers are you gonna give this movie?
Let me give. Well, I thought we never decided if we're gonna do like it, love it, some
like it, love it, or skip it, right?
Skip
it, drip it, or dip it. Yeah. Now you said last time, skip it, love it, or like it, or such a fucking
like
Cold Stone.
It's like a Cold Stone, dude. I like ice cream. Sorry, guys. We'll figure it out next one. But honestly, out of freaking
if I had to rate it out of gobstoppers, I would say it's everlasting.
Dang.
It's a movie I can always come back to, watch, and just fucking love it. Like every time I watch it. It's awesome. It's one of my favorites. Like I said, it's one of my tops, and it's just such a near and dear to my heart. What about you?
Damn. I was like just watching you.
I start crying, huh?
No,
well, you know what they said about the person who lived happily ever after. I'm just kidding.
You got everything you wanted.
Fucking sweet.
No, out of freaking, dude, fucking, I don't know, the gong stoppers, whatever.
The gong stoppers?
Out of how many licks freaking Grandpa Joe gave that wall?
How many snozzwangers?
Oh, what many snozzwangers did he get? Yeah.
This is a timeless movie, I think, and it's one that's never gonna get old to me.
No,
Go ahead.
No, definitely. Honestly, I always say this because a lot of these movies we watched a lot. But, like now as adults, like I feel like I appreciate them even more for what they are. Because I remember as a kid, I hated the songs, but like
I always had a little thing for musicals.
See, I didn't as a kid.
But some songs, like I said earlier, like I skipped that mom song always because it just slowed down the movie for me.
Yeah. But like now watching it again, like I enjoyed the songs.
Yeah, I love it because they're catchy.
They're catchy as hell. Like,
I know a lot of musicals, they're not everyone's cup of tea, but they're hard, like as far as quoting wise goes, because you don't want to put a whole song.
Because it's like a whole like we won't be able to do Les Miserables and shit. Fucking that's like a whole song.
Les Miserables.
But yeah, but dude, honestly, great movie, dude. I definitely would encourage anyone to watch it. It's like such a timeless classic. Like this is like, I always say this too, like, Casablanca, or Casablanca, like those movies. Like this is another movie that you definitely need to watch.
You have to watch it. Yeah,
you have to. Like it's just one of those classics.
Not just the new one.
No.
Watch this one.
Not even the new one. Just skip that one if you don't need to really watch it. But no, I enjoyed it, honestly.
The new one's not bad. We'll get to that one eventually, I think, because it has its little things, but it follows more of the book from what I understand. And Tim Burton's always scary.
It's gonna be kind of trippy to kind of like go into that movie too, because now we're gonna have to compare.
Well, obviously this is the superior to me.
Yeah.
But yes, I would highly recommend this movie to anyone. Even if you don't like musicals, just give it a try. I mean, it's great. Gene Wilder alone, his performance is amazing. As far as the next movie we're gonna do you have any ideas what you want to do? We're almost to December, so we got at least one more movie left until we hit the holidays. That's crazy. And I was gonna ask you too, because I thought you were gonna be like this, some shit. This is random off a little topic here. Yes.
But like November, it is November now. Now they're doing, how they do 25 days of Christmas movies. Now they're doing 24 days before, or 20, 30 days, whatever the hell it is to get to December. And then they're like, of Christmas
just
movies.
starting earlier.
And I was like, what the fuck?
Damn.
It's so stupid. I was like, yeah, whatever. But I don't know, man. Honestly, it's in the air right now. Honestly, I'm thinking of a funny ass movie, but I kind of want to. We'll discuss.
We'll discuss it. Once again, we are on Twitter. If you have anything you want to suggest us as far as movies go, or if you want to just kind of tell us what we're doing, what you like, maybe, we're at Quotables Cast on Twitter. You can also hit up our individual Instagrams. Info is in the bio. But yes, thank you so much again for listening. If you don't have anything, then I'm good. How are you?
Now a dreamer.
Everything's good. Just remember, we are the dreamers. And fucking the sweet little movie. Anyway,
I hit the music, dude.
Well, cue us out. Thanks again for listening.
Hit it.
See you next time.